Hey there everybody, my name's Ryan, the official host of Askreddit Tells, and today we're going to be looking at some of the top stories from r/MaliciousCompliance. Before we do though, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest videos. Coworker and I maliciously comply with the owner's demands. Owner loses thousands of dollars. I posted this story on r/ProRevenge, but it got taken down since it wasn't taken as pro-revenge, which I agree with. I'll include more details here which will make it seem more like pro-revenge, but they are brought about by malicious compliance. If you saw this already, hi again, I hope you enjoyed it. I also get the chance to fix some typos and elaborate in parts, so this will end up being a more complete story. Side note to new readers, I'm going to college soon, or hopefully anyway, for computer science and electrical engineering. Also, prior to this story, I had already built a few PCs for myself and friends. Not crucial info, but you'll see why it feels it should be mentioned. With that out of the way, let's go. None of the names used are real. A little over a year ago, I started my first job at a local restaurant. I was 16, making me, at the time, the youngest employee there. Nevertheless, I was determined to show that I was just as good as the older servers and bussers. Things started out great. I was learning a lot and quickly becoming a solid busser. To me, the job was perfect as I felt I was good at it and working nights fit in with my schedule perfectly. Then about a week in, I walked in to see, but mostly hear, Jackie, the owner of the restaurant, screaming into her phone. I gather that she's on the phone with the internet provider and trying to get the internet back up before people sit for dinner. Dissatisfied with the customer service, hint, foreshadowing, hint hint, she hangs up and asks me to take a look since she knows I like computers. I head around the bar to the router and modem and see that neither has any lights on. Both appeared to be completely off. A proverbial gong goes off and in my head I decide to check the outlet. Turns out the outlet had a built-in surge protector that tripped. I pressed the reset button and the internet was up within 5 to 10 minutes. Little did I know by pressing that button, I had just sold my soul as IT support to this rinky-dinky restaurant. In fairness, it wasn't that bad most of the time. For about 5 months, it typically was just, have you tried turning it on and off, and the occasional part replacement. All of the IT stuff I did was going on unpaid, which I didn't really care about. I knew how to do it. Jackie knew that I could do it, so why wouldn't I do it? What did I care about, however, was how Jackie treated me when I tried to help her. Sometimes she would get oddly defensive and insist she knew how to do a thing, when 5 minutes before she had asked me how to do the thing. I also noticed that on weeks where she decided to have an argument, my scheduled hours for the following week went down. She would also withhold pay. I can definitely say that there is a relation, but it happened multiple times with the exact same excuses. Also during this time, my buddy Brett was hired. Brett is my age, a grade ahead though, so we like similar stuff and we knew each other from our school's robotics team. Around mid-August at the time, about 5 or 6 months in, Jackie has a brilliant plan to buy a brand new camera security system for the restaurant and get yours truly to install it all. When she told me, I was completely shocked. I mean, yeah, I had soldered and wired stuff before, but she's trusting a very expensive system to a kid with no real experience. When I brought up my concerns, Jackie brushed them aside with, just document everything you do so you can trade back any mistakes. Not fully convinced, but also not wanting to upset my boss, I naively accepted to install the system. I spent the next few days going over wiring schematics and drawing up a master that the whole system would be directly traced by. I may have been stupid enough to accept the job, but I was smart enough to do it right. I got Brett to help me with the wiring and installation, and thanks to him we were able to get the system completely running within a few hours before the lunch and dinner rush. The place isn't that big, but there are 4 camera zones, some with multiple cameras to limit blind spots. Here's where the real trouble starts. When we finish the install and triple check all cams, I tell Jackie that we're done. I then start to go through with Jackie to show her how everything works. She starts having trouble with playing back cams since the system she bought was a relatively cheap one and had a poor interface. She started getting very annoyed, and here's the conversation that followed, paraphrasing a lot. You definitely did something wrong. I can't work this thing. There's nothing wrong, look. I go through again how to play back the video. Exactly, you've made it so I can't control it. I didn't make the interface, that came with the system. Just fix it. How hard can it be? After this continued with a bit from both of us getting madder and madder, I realized that she thought the way I wired the system affected how to use it. To you and I, that is stupid beyond words. But she was 100% serious, so I decided to go all in as well. I'm going to personally go over everything so I can use it. Okay, go for it. I pull out all the wiring schematics that I kept in a folder in the office. Here you go. What is all of this? It's the complete map of how the cameras are wired. You said to document everything. I see her eyes go wide as she tries to take in everything on the sheets. To an untrained eye, complicated wiring schematics look like a maze with no exit. Me? Oh, and by the way, I quit. I turned around and walked out of the office, leaving her sputtering and screaming. I felt like I was on top of the world. And that's where the story should end, but we still have a bit more. Before I left the restaurant, I had a quick chat with Brett about what happened and warned him that she might try something with him since she helped me. To my surprise, I saw his eyes light up and he told me he'd give him a call in a little bit. A little later that night, I get a call from Brett. Turns out I was right. Jackie tried to pressure him into rewiring the whole damn thing by himself, saying she would fire him just like she had fired me. Brett was able to convince her to just take the time to learn this setup. Still no idea how he managed that. Brett was always way better at negotiating than I am. He walked her through how to bring up cameras and play back the video, and the camera he chose for the example was the camera in the office, right behind Jackie. Once the video was going and Jackie realized what was going on, she was just a passenger as our entire conversation was played out in front of her. When the playback ended, Brett turned to her and said, "Yeah, I quit too." The final nail in the coffin for Jackie. This was right before Labor Day, a huge time for restaurants, especially where we live. Jackie couldn't get replacement employees on time and the restaurant tanked badly, missing out on easily thousands of dollars in profits. It managed to stay open until just a little while ago, which reminded me of this glorious memory. Brett and I are still close and he's killing it at college, or at least he was. Thanks, bad virus, not that word I'm gonna say. I don't know where Jackie is now, but I'm assuming she went back to doing what she does best, being a dumbass. Edit, to the person who gave me a gold medal, you are a hero and thank you so much for enjoying my story. You don't want us to do it the right way? Alright, you're the boss. Hello friends, this is a little happy story from my time as a warehouse assistant. Some background first, this happened a while for working at a small business. The boss in question's actually a great dude, but like all bosses, he's under a ton of stress and has his moments. This particular piece of compliance revolves around a nail gun in use in the warehouse. Don't worry, no idiots were harmed in the writing of this story. So every afternoon we have a pretty large shipment getting sent out. Everything sold for the day would be popped onto pallets and shipped off to customers. Now pallets are surprisingly expensive and if not sized properly, cost a fortune in extra freight. So we eventually started making our own in order to fit the size of products being shipped using the previously mentioned nail gun to put them together. All was going well until the delivery guy told us that, and I quote, "Those effing pallets of yours are shit and keep falling apart. Stop using the effing nail gun and put them together properly." We looked into it and he was 100% right. See, the nails from the nail gun were super small, thin, and couldn't grip for crap. The warehouse manager could actually pull the pallets with his hands. So yeah, not good. 'Twas reported to the admin folks upstairs and the show went on. From that point on, we started using normal nails instead. Yeah, it took long, but we were still saving money and the delivery folks were happy as clams. Now for the turn. One Friday, late in the afternoon, the boss comes down and lets us know the sales team has just landed a big un. "We need to grab some pallets, lads. I want this shipped this afternoon. Grab the nail gun and throw some together, ASAP." "No problem, I'll get on it now." Boss goes back upstairs and I start belting pallets together using normal nails. 5 minutes later, boss comes back down and he's fuming. "OC, I can see you on the cameras. What the hell are you doing?" "Hammering the pallets up, boss, as you said." "I said to use the damn nail gun." "Well, I would, but when we used it last time..." "No buts! We bought that nail gun. Now you better bloody use it. In fact, I'll show you how." Boss man takes the nail gun and slaps together a pallet in 20 seconds flat. Normally takes about 3 to 4 minutes by hammer. "There, see? Now do it the right way or go home." "Yes, boss." And so begins our compliance. I pick up the nail gun and smash out 5 fragile pallets in the space of about 3 minutes. Exactly the same way Boss Man did, which I'm okay with, it's a ton easier, all while my coworkers giggled with glee. Come shipping time, I realized just why they were all giggling. All the other forklift users are out for the rest of the afternoon, with local deliveries, sickness, and general excuses. The only person with a fork license, whom was going to have to load the truck, was, you guessed it, Boss Man. So Boss Man picks up the first pallet and is about to load it onto the truck when the pallet is hit by a stray breeze and proceeds to fall apart on the forks. The F did I tell you guys about using those pallets? Are you idiots using that nail gun again? Boss stammers, saying we needed them sent this afternoon and the nail gun should have done the job. I don't bloody care. I can't take any of the pallets you've built with that nail gun. If they fall apart in our possession and damage or something, it's a nightmare. Do 'em again and I'll pick 'em up tomorrow. And with that parting gift, in his own act of compliance, the delivery driver keeps to his word, closes the truck, and drives off without our shipment. The boss sits in silence contemplating the thousands of dollars in product, which has now experienced a nice big shipping delay. Did I mention this was Friday? OC? Yeah, boss? Retire the nail gun. And sorry about earlier. Don't worry about it. Want a hand getting all these back inside? Yep, and if you've got some time before closing, I would appreciate some fresh pallets as well. On it, I'll have them knocked up in a bit. And the nail gun was never heard from again. Don't you all enjoy a happy ending? Too long didn't read? Why are you here if you ain't reading the stories? Edit. Good lordy, this got a gold. Thank you, kind stranger. And thank you all for your updates. To all of you posting, yes, the correct way to go is just buy a new nail gun. Please note, however, my position as warehouse assistant, I had no power or money, and I can assure you we have requested a better nail gun. It is, however, not our responsibility to go buy it. That falls on the people who push paper. And that about does it for today's video. Did you like it? Maybe check out some of our other stuff and even subscribe. As always, my name's Ryan, the official host of Askreddit Tells, and I look forward to seeing you guys in tomorrow's video.